Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage and a small video on the Trabant. Today is Sunday and it's the perfect day for a drive in a classic car. I have been in the garage for a couple of hours and I couldn't really find anything to do. Not that there's a lot of projects. There's a lot of things that I could do, but there wasn't really anything that I wanted to start on. But then I had an idea. I would like to go on a Sunday drive, but it's always nice to have some kind of mission. At least for me, some destination or something to do. And then I thought it could be fun to find out what the fuel consumption is on a Trabant. On Danish papers, there is always written how many kilometers it will go on 1 liter of fuel. On this one, it's 16.6, I think. I don't know if that's realistic. It should be. The engine is kind of small and simple, and the car is light. I know I had a 2CV that did around 17 or 18 kilometers per liter. I know some of you guys uses miles per gallon and so on, and I will try to do a calculation in the end of the video, so all those different kinds of figures are stated. I'm gonna try that at least. But in Denmark, it's always kilometers per liter. That is what I'm gonna try today, and it's not at all going to be scientific. What I have done is I have rigged up a small fuel tank in the car. That fuel tank contains 1 liter of fuel, premix. This is a 2-stroke, of course. Then I have actually run the car until it was completely out of fuel, so the fuel bulb in the carb is empty, the fuel lines are empty, and then I filled in exactly 1 liter. Now I'm going to drive it and then run it out of fuel, which is going to be a weird experience, I think. Of course, it's not going to be very scientific because really I should do a lot more liters and then divide it, maybe 10 liters, and then divide the amount of kilometers with 10. I'm not going to do that. And the start of this exercise is going to be me backing out of the garage and then driving down a steep hill and then go around, hopefully enough times to even out the hills up and down. But it's not going to be precise. This is just for fun. And the original fuel tank is right there. What I have done is I have rigged another fuel line that goes into the cabin of the car and down there to the carb. And then inside the car, I rigged up this little fuel tank. There's a little lid that I'm gonna put on. There is 1 liter of fuel in this. And then I have rigged up, very basic down here, like this, which we are going to reset. It's a very basic setup, I know. We have a camera right here, which is going to record the fuel level and that down there. And then we'll see. So let's start that. And then I'm going to rig up the camera in the cabin. And now I'm just going to try to start the car up. It could be hard to start because remember the fuel bottle is completely empty, but the fuel has been flowing for a while. So I think it will just start. Lights on. Just gonna put it in reverse before starting it just to get as much out of the fuel as possible if it starts. Let's go. Right now I'm backing up, which is not gonna give me any kilometers, but hopefully it will become better because we will start downhill, so that will be 3 kilometers. And then just slowly, I'm almost not giving it any throttle. We're just driving along. Uphill stretch. And I'm just trying to go as gently on the throttle as possible and trying not to brake too much. We have now driven 1.5 kilometers. Stopping is of course not a good thing. Unfortunately, I had to accelerate a bit quickly because a car came out of nowhere. I let it pass now because it was driving way too rally-like for trying to be economical. But we are now at 2.7 kilometers and I cannot see any difference on the fuel. I should maybe have marked some markings on the fuel tank to show me something, but I haven't. I'm doing 50 kilometers per hour now. Of course, speed is also going to have a huge impact on the consumption, because if I drove it flat out, it will use a lot more than this. And now I'm in fourth gear. The fourth gear on the Trabant got freewheeling. That means that when I take my foot off the throttle, the revs will just drop to idle, using almost no fuel. And we have a right corner coming up. I'm gonna try to take it at a bit of a speedy manner, just to keep momentum. This is fun. This could become a theme on my channel, to test the consumption on cars, because it's fun. It's a fun way to use the car and have a mission for the drive. I love driving classic cars, but testing something at the same time makes it even more fun. So it's time for an update. 4.3 kilometers at average speed and an average speed of 61 kilometers per hour. We still have a lot of fuel. And remember, we also started the engine with this 1 liter of fuel, and starting engines always uses a bit more fuel than just idling. But I think we have used half the fuel, maybe. It looks that way. Ten kilometers. I'm not gonna reach my goal of 18, I don't think so, at least. That's a bit too ambitious, I think. We are low on fuel. The fuel tank is becoming empty now, so we are pretty much running on the fuel in the lines. I think the car just cut out, actually. There's still a little bit. Just cut out in free. No, it's done. It's done. There's no more fuel. A little bit. No, that's it. That's it. There's no more fuel. 12.5, so 12.5 kilometers. It's not as good as I expected, I gotta say, but remember, I started the engine on this. The engine was not bone cold, but cold engines use more fuel than warm ones. But still, I really should use a bigger tank, maybe 5 liters, do the same test and then divide by 5. The calculation would be a lot better. But it was a fun little test. Maybe the car could be fine-tuned a little bit. It could be fun to try to tweak it, maybe install a electronic ignition or something like that and do the test again and then see. Yeah, either way, it was fun. Well, I should have bought some fuel with me because I don't have any now. Anyway, remember, you can support me on Patreon if you like, and see you in the next one.